So, hey everyone, sorry for missing a video yesterday. So, the reason I'm including, this video is probably going to be earlier, is because, I am going to do 2 videos today because I missed one yesterday. So the first one obviously is going to be what if Deku was a villain, as you can see here. And then the second one's going to be what if Deku had All for One. Hope you like those, because these are the 2 most popular videos on my channel. I'll show you right now. I have to watch the end of it. Well, actually not part 2, but part 1 has 41 views. Is 1 more view than what if Deku had All for One. So, guys, enjoy. Jesus. Sorry for the interruption, but if you could even notice it, I just paused the video for a second. And if you can notice it, the camera's a little bit smaller. And so last we left off, Bakugo was like, Deku, what are you doing here? And Bakugo just says, Deku, you're quirkless. How did you get into UA? Just tell me. Stop lying to me. Wait, was Deku presumed dead? Yeah, he was. So, and also, when did you come back to life? Whoever you are, what are you talking about, quirkless? Look, my quirk's right here. And he points to his eye, and it comes out. And Bakugo's just like, what? You can't have that inside of your eye. It's impossible. Oh yeah, by the way, I got this picture, which is kind of like his quirk. Can you see it? But I should have erased these little other green things and kept this one. Goes the way around his head. And we're gonna say it goes all the way to his eye. But actually, does it go around his shoulder? I'm saying it goes around here, because it seems like it does that. So then Dick is just like, yeah, person. Yeah. Wait, what's your name? And he says, and Bakugo just says, Deku, you know my name. It's Katsuki, but you called me Kachan. And Deku's just like, meh, who really cares? And just sit down. And then I wear a sleeping bag, and everyone's like, oh my god, is that a villain? Like a worm villain or something? And then he just, well, I wouldn't. And then Deku just says in his mind, well, I wouldn't know if it's a villain or not, because most villains here these days are in the villain league. We all know that. And then he just, also he's like, also I already know that villains are out there, and that's not one of them. So then, I'm gonna call him Shota. Shota just comes out of the sleeping bag, saying, it took you guys 8 seconds to calm down and sit on your seat. That's precious time wasted. But we're gonna do a quirk test. And they were just like, oh cool. And they go outside, get on their uniforms. You can imagine however you want Deku's uniform is. I've already imagined it, but I don't really know how to say it. So Deku goes outside and they say, so, and then Shota says, so your first test will be to throw this ball using your quirk. Wait, what's Deku's new name? Kazuki! You came first on his new name is Kazuki. Kazuki, you came first on the UA exam. So now, now, what was your thing in high school? What was your 4 meters in high school? Well, for me, I'm pretty sure it's like athletics day or something. They're supposed to do it. I don't really know. No, it's not. Haven't even had it yet. Oops. But that's what I would just think it is. Because we have like this metal ball. But then, so then he says, my score was, and then he makes up a new score. Then, because Bakugo knew his score. My score is 50. Bakugo's just like in his mind. This kid, he's like everything. He looks exactly the same as Deku, but everything else about him is different. His personality, his strength, his score, even his quirk, because he was quirkless. Everything else is different. And then, so Deku just like, and then Shota just says, okay, so throw this ball into the air using your quirk. And then Deku just throws creates a little basket for and he puts his ball inside of it, and he makes his thing fly into outer space, and then let it go and then it'll go infinite. So then he does that, and then it just goes, and then the score on Shota's phone says infinite. And everyone's just like, oh, what? You could get infinite? That's crazy. So the next Bakugo goes up because he was second, because he was first in the exam, in the real anime, so that means he would be second. So he throws the ball and gets like whatever, 474 or something. I don't really know. I can say anything right now. Uraraka throws it, obviously gets infinite, and then they just move on and blah blah blah. Everything happens. Deku gets first place on every single one, because usually the only possible one, and if you could say it, is, well, he got tied in one, which was with Uraraka. Because you can't get higher than infinite, so he tied with Uraraka. Well, but he came first place anyways, because Uraraka came like, I don't know what place she came on in the other ones. So then he just he gets first place, second place like Bakugo or something, third place Todoroki, and then and then they go, they do schoolwork, go home, and I'm pretty sure there's a time skip in the middle of these two. He goes to the villain hideout. I'm pretty sure in the last video I said Inko died, so I don't know what happened to Inko. And then he does all this stuff. And when they go back to school, they do the hero exam. So Deku gets paired up with, let's say, just Uraka, like normal. And they go against Ida and Bakugo. So then they go and get. So then they go in, and he says, Uraka, you can find the bomb, and I'll go, and I know Bakugo would charge at me at the very start. As he heard some footsteps, and then he just brings it out of his eye and like shoots it, and kind of like has a huge. And then Bakugo had like cuts all over his body, and then he just fell over. He didn't have like too bad cuts, but he like too much for any human to handle without like falling over. So then I'm gonna say this gives him, I'm gonna change his quirk up. So it gives him healing powers for his quirk if it's cut by him. So it's only good for like practices, like training and stuff. So then he like ties the rope on him and then heals him. Goes Bakugo. And then they go to, and then he just goes up. He grabs onto his little thing. By the way, the thing doesn't affect him. Like, his green thing doesn't affect him. And he like just touches the bomb. So then they go back. I'm gonna skip the little, whoever's the main, whatever did the best. Todoroki, everything else goes the same other than Deku's match, obviously. And then he just go home. They go to the thing, and then the alarm goes off. And instead of Deku going with the alarm, do you know what Deku does? Goes into, like, outside of the office and listens in on their conversation and heard there was gonna be a USJ training thing, and then he went back. The day was over after that. Same thing happened inside of the actual alarm area. And then he just... So then he knows what it is, and they start to go to the USJ. Like, at times they go back, days ended, he goes back and says, so, I know when we should attack. I heard that we're gonna have a USJ facility at blah blah blah. I just said he said like, where it is, and we should attack then. And I might not reveal myself. Should I? I'm gonna decide that in the next video. Which, this is the end, by the way, if that isn't much of a hint. So, the end of the video, bye, good day or night, because today, it's day right now, not night like it is usually, and goodbye, and you are... I don't really know what to say.